And I'd just like to do a quick coverage of community and some of the new features we've done there, and then turn you guys loose to play. So community's always been a big deal to Forza Motorsport. We have hundreds of thousands of players still playing every month. Even now, we're almost 2 years after Forza 3 launched. We're what's called an Evergreen title. So our community is just always playing, always playing. A new big game will come out, like Red Dead Redemption. We'll see our numbers drop down, and then 3 weeks later, bang, they come right back up to the same place. Because people love cars, and they want to play with cars. But the secret is that 50% of our community, half of the community, is not racing. They're doing cat and mouse, they're doing capture or keep the it, and tag, and virus, and all of these playground games. And what it tells you is that people want to play with cars. Yeah, hardcore racers want to race, but players still want to play with cars regardless. So we've added 16-player multiplayer into this version. And that makes cat and mouse better. It also makes wheel-to-wheel racing better. We've also added Top Gear football. Top Gear football works how you might think. There's a big football in the middle of the pitch. There's goals on either side. You use the cars to score. It's another way of having fun with cars. Now the funny thing is the way we play in the office isn't like the show. In the show they use city cars, little small micro cars. And when we play in the office, we play position football. So we put Q7s and X5s, big SUVs in the defense. Midfield tends to be STIs and Evos because they can go forward and backwards very quickly. And then the front line we use hypercars and supercars, so Lotus, something like the Spiker or Ferrari 458. But also at work, we're in a car club together. Now car clubs are a new feature in Forza as well. It works, if you've played a first-person shooter in the last 10 years, you know how it generally works. I could start a club, I'd be the president, could make you the vice president, we all get in the club together. Where it gets more powerful is with what's Forza's DNA, what Forza's really good at, and that's car collecting and car customization. So cars are expensive. That's Spiker, for example, in the game is 260,000 credits. If you're looking at a Bugatti Veyron, it's over 1 million credits. Now, if I wanted to have both of those cars, I would have to save up all that money in most games, and Forza 3. But in Forza 4, I could buy the Spiker, you could buy the Bugatti, and whether I'm online or not, all of you in the club can drive my Spiker. Whether he's online or not, all of us can drive his Bugatti. That's cool because we then have collective buying power. We don't all have to duplicate our collections. Where it's even better is with painting. If you've got a really good painter in your car club, they can paint all the jerseys when you go and play football. That's what we tend to do. So we've got a great painter and he paints all our SUVs and our STIs and our hypercars so they have a consistent jersey when we go out and play games. Now, if you're more like me, I tend to be a tuner. I really know how to work on the cars themselves. So when you have somebody that's a tuner in your club, he or she can make all of the drivers faster because we know how to listen to a driver and say, so you need more bump damping in the front and you need, more downforce in the rear. And by bringing everyone together in your car club, all these different types of creativity, it builds more of that passion because the diversity gets people talking and arguing and working cooperatively and thinking about cars in a new way. And that's what Forza is all about. Yes, we do great racing, and if you're a simulation racer, you're not going to find a better game out there. But we're also a great place for people to take photographs, a great place for people to paint. And all across the industry, whether it's racing games or other types of games, our livery editor is held up as sort of the gold standard, and our auction house, and our storefront. That's not just best in racing, that's best in gaming. And that's why we attract these different types of creativity into the game to create a really massive, cohesive community. Now, I didn't even talk about physics, I didn't talk about AI, and I didn't talk about Rivals mode. There's a ton of new features across this entire game. The new graphics engine, a lot of these things came out of partnerships. I mentioned the partnership with Top Gear, and that brought levity and humor into the game. We also worked with guys from Pixar and Hollywood to bring a new lighting model into the game, which you'll see when you drive. The game looks incredible. It's called IBL. And we worked with a partnership with Pirelli to bring the most cutting-edge tire simulation on any platform. So more advanced than PCs, more advanced than any other console game. We were using the same techniques that Ferrari and McLaren used to train their F1 pilots in their proprietary simulations. So I don't know how the other games do their simulation. The reason I'm confident that we have the most advanced simulation is because of our approach. The approach of being the most cutting edge, working with the right partners. Now, all that's kind of technical and we've got a lot of things all over the place, but really what it comes down to is whether you're a racing gamer or a more casual gamer or you kind of like cars or you're just thinking about cars, the game fits you like a glove. It feels very natural as you're playing through it, and hopefully gets you thinking about cars in a new way.